With your Sports on Demand for Saturday, January 26th, I'm Alex Klein. Skiers from across the Midwest and even Canada braved today's conditions to take part in the Nokemanon Ski Marathon, featuring 8 different races, ranging from the 12-kilometer classic and freestyle events all the way up to the full 50K. The full marathon begins at All Qual and features a variety of terrain, including rolling hills and flat lake crossings, with testing climbs and plenty of downhills to the finish on County Road 550 at the log yard. It's a tough challenge for those up to it, but plenty come year after year. And this year, one of the toughest conditions was the temperature, but the skiers seem to enjoy it.
It was a beautiful morning. It's definitely cold, but for a classic race, that means that our kick wax works really well. So that was good, and I made sure to have lots of that, hand warmers and this face tape, and I have this little mask that I breathe through, so it was actually quite comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, it's freezing out here, but I like the cold. This is a little too cold for comfort, but, as soon as you get going, you get pretty warm.
Vivian Het was the women's 50K Classic winner at 3 hours, 9 minutes, and 51 seconds, while Brian Gregg came in first for the men's 50K Classic at 2 hours, 37 minutes, and 32 seconds. Andy Liebner won the men's 50K freestyle at 2 hours, 39 minutes, and 43 seconds, his second straight 50K freestyle victory. And Mari Hardell won the 50K freestyle for the women at 3 hours, 13 minutes, and 25 seconds. Basketball now, and the rivalry returns to the Berry Events Center as Michigan Tech visits NMU. We'll start with the women. The Huskies get the game's first basket as Cassidy Trotter finds Abby Botts in the corner for 3. Botts led all scorers with 13 points. Late in the second quarter, Houghton grad Sloan Zenner nails her third triple of the game to give the Huskies a 34-19 advantage. NMU responds just before the buzzer. Lexi Smith drives and gets the shot to drop, but the Huskies still led 34-21 at the intermission. Smith paced the Wildcats with 12 points. Second half, Bella O'Brien skipped past to Cassidy Trotter. She hits the triple. Huskies up by a dozen 2 minutes into the third quarter. Then, a minute left in the third, Ellie Welsh pitches back to Elizabeth Kelleher. You just saw 6 of the 15 points scored between the two teams in this quarter. Kelleher had 11 points, and it's 42-27. But Northern starts making plays. Lexi Smith spots Elizabeth Lutz for 3. Lutz had 11. NMU trails by 3, 52-49 with 28 seconds remaining. Lutz fouls Ellie Welsh. Welsh made 1 of 2 from the line. Moments later, Lexi Welch to Tesh Weatherly for 3. And with 14 seconds left, Tech's lead is now 1 at 54-53. Ellie McKay made 1 of 2 free throws. And then with 2 seconds on the clock, the long inbounds pass for the Wildcats tied up. Tech had the possession arrow. The Huskies hang on for a 55-53 win. Tech coach Sam Hoyt gets her first rivalry victory. The men were also in action today against rival Michigan Tech, and it was all Huskies to start things off. Trent Bell, he rattled off 3 straight triples to begin the game. He had a career-high 22 points, and Tech has the 9-2 lead, but NMU responds. Isaac Appleby misses, and Naba Eccles, he pushes it the other way. Pulls up behind the arc and nails the three-pointer, part of a 27-8 run in the first half. The senior had 23 points, and the Wildcats up 37-28. Second half, NMU's scoring continues. Isaiah Johnson feeds to Troy Summers inside, makes a nice spin move on Tieran Powell, and gets the reverse layup to go. The Wildcats up 50-40 with 10 minutes left in the game. But this is a rivalry, so you can't count out the Huskies just yet. Dawson Bilski to Trent Bell to Brian Heath, and his 3-ball try hits off the iron, but Bell there to clean up the mess. Michigan Tech only down 4, 60-56, but it was too little too late. NMU makes a couple free throws and runs out the clock. The Wildcats win it 63-59. And some GLIAC scores for the men. Lake Superior State falls to Ferris State 97-76. And on the women's side, the Bulldogs get the best of the Lakers 62-46. And in other college basketball, the Bay College men went on the road to take on Bryant and Stratton College, but the Norse, they lose 97-80. Alfonso Fields had 22 points, including 5 three-pointers. The Bobcats remain unbeaten at home. And in high school boys basketball, Escanaba throttles Sault Ste. Marie 73-40. To college hockey, where NMU was hoping to split with Minnesota State, but the bubble for the Wildcats' chances popped early in tonight's game. Just over a minute into the first period, Shane McMahon Behind the net, passes to Julian Napravnik. Shot bounces off Ate Tolvanen and into the net for a 1-0 lead at 1:07. 9.5 minutes later on the power play, Ian Sheed beats Tolvanen stick side. The Mavericks take a 2-goal advantage. 35 seconds later, Minnesota State strikes again. Walker Duell feeds in front, and Jared Spooner gets the 6th of the year. The Wildcats, they pulled Tolvanen for the remaining 8:59 of the first period in favor of goalie Nolan Kent. NMU gets on the board 39 seconds after the Mavericks' 3rd goal. Darian Craighead to Phil Ballou, and his slap shot beats Dryden McKay, Ballou's 5th goal of the season. But Minnesota State added one more in the first as captain Mark Michaelis. He knocks home his 13th. The Mavericks went on to rout the Wildcats 8-2, and they earn the series sweep. And late last night, Michigan Tech shut out Alaska Anchorage 3-0 as Brian Hallinan scored twice. And Lake Superior State fell to Bemidji State tonight 5-3 to split the weekend series. Lake Superior State scored twice in the 3rd, but it was not enough. And some other college hockey scores. Finlandia women beat Northland 1-0 in overtime, but the Finlandia men, they fall to Adrian 5-3.